Hello and welcome. My name is Deanne Day and I am a certified life coach. I focus on helping my clients get results in different areas of their life. And I am here today to talk to you a little bit about accomplishing goals, being able to accomplish your goals despite all of the emotional drama or the emotional roller coaster that you may experience. And I know that it's the beginning of a new year. And so this is the time where most of us are thinking about what we want to accomplish by the end of the year and just kind of, thinking of the results we want to get and things we want to change, things we want to do better. And so I feel like this is the perfect time to talk about those goals and acknowledging the emotional roller coaster that we might experience while we're working toward them so that we can be able to move past that and continue on as we work toward our goals. So I first want to get into talking a little bit about how we set those goals. And I have easy breezy here because I feel like setting the goal is the easy part, right? I mean, we do have to put a little time and energy and effort into actually setting the goal and making it specific or making it like a SMART goal. But that, for the most part, is the easiest part of the whole entire journey. So in regards to what specifically a SMART goal is, a SMART goal is something that is specific, measurable, action oriented, and realistic, and that is time bound. So when I say specific, so if you have a goal if you have a weight loss goal, maybe you want to say, instead of saying like, oh, I want to be more healthy or, oh, I want to lose weight, maybe you can get specific with that and you can say, I would like to lose 30 pounds, right? And so by making it measurable, you put the number to it. So instead of just saying, I want to lose weight, you're saying, I want to lose 30 pounds, right? By, working out 4 times a week. So that makes it measurable. The 30 pounds and the 4 times per week is what is making it measurable. The action oriented. So I want to lose 30 weight. I want to lose 30 pounds by working out 4 times a week, by going to the gym and eating a vegan diet. So going to the gym is the action and eating a vegan diet is the action. So now you have specifically what you're going to do, like, and how you're going to do it with the time frame and the action that you're going to take. And then you want to make sure it's realistic, because sometimes we have these really big goals that we have and they might not be realistic for the time frame that we're giving ourselves. So like, we wouldn't want to say, I want to lose 30 pounds this month, because in most cases people lose on average 2 pounds a week, which might be about 8 pounds a month, right? So but maybe if you want to say, I want to lose 30 pounds within the next 3 or 4 months, that may make it more realistic. So just double checking to make sure the goal you set is realistic for the time frame that you are given. And are you capable of doing this goal, right? Time bound, basically that's giving it a deadline, right? So I want to lose 30 pounds by working out 4 times a week and eating a vegan diet. And I want to do that by April 1st. Okay. So there you have it. There is a SMART, that's what you call a SMART goal, right? So once again, I said, this is kind of the easy part. It does take time and effort, but it's the easier piece of the puzzle. Here on my screen, you said, I put being smart is not enough. So like being a SMART goal or having a SMART goal is not enough. We have to be prepared for the journey that comes along with trying to accomplish a big goal. And when I say the journey, when we are pursuing a goal, there are going to be lots of things that come up that can stop us, like different roadblocks, different challenges. A lot of times we spend so much time coming up with the goal and we completely skip the part about being able to manage ourselves along the way or on the journey to achieving it is kind of like we create the goal and then we only thinking of the end. But we need to be thinking about all the stuff that is going to come up between the time you make the goal and the time you actually achieve it. So I want to compare like the journey to accomplishing a big goal that you have to the journey of like taking a road trip from maybe the East Coast to the West Coast, right? So you want to drive, right, from, let's say, New York, and you want to go to California, right? So that is a 2,700-mile trip, which is about 41 hours total. And there are so many things that can go wrong along the way. But if we prepare for them, if we consider them, and if we make plans for different things that can come up, then we're going to be more likely to make it the entire way. But if we just say, okay, I want to drive from New York to California, and we don't plan for anything that we're going to need from point A to point B, then we're just decreasing our chances of being able to make it. So for instance, on a road trip, things that can go wrong, you might run out of gas, right? Let's just say you run out of gas. Well, if you have a plan, if you thought about, well, what happens when I run out of gas? Oh, I'm going to need extra gas money. I'm going to need a gas card, whatever that might be. You have that with you, so you're prepared. You could possibly get a flat tire, right? A solution to that would be maybe learning how to use your spare, learning how to change your tire before you go on the trip could be helpful, or making sure that you have some type of roadside assistance plan. Or maybe if you lock the keys in the car, that is something that could possibly happen and that can keep you from getting to where you're trying to go. So maybe you can get one of those tools and learn the skill of like unlocking it. Or like I said, another roadside assistance option that can help you if you happen to lock your keys in the car. Or maybe your battery might die, or maybe you could get in a car accident, right? If you have the insurance, and make sure you figured out what's covered and figure out what you need to be covered on this road trip, then if those things happen, you are going to be more prepared when they do. And so it won't be you won't be so startled, right? And you won't be so thrown off when it happens. You're like, oh, I just do this, right? And then you'll just do it and then keep going. It's the same thing with our goals. Things are going to come up, things are going to get in our way. And what we need to do is we need to have plans for those things, expect challenges to come, expect the journey, right? So you can overcome all of those challenges, but it makes it easier for you when you're prepared. So things may still be hard. Just because you're prepared doesn't mean it's going to be hard, right? Doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. It's still going to be challenging. It's still going to be difficult, but you just made things a little bit easier for yourself. So what I encourage you to do is I encourage you to take a moment and get a journal or get like a note or notepad or whatever you use, and just take a moment and think of all the challenges that can come up as you're working towards your goal. Anything that can come up that might potentially stop you from achieving it, or could get in your way, or could slow you down. Think of all that, write it down, and then come up with solutions for those challenges. And then that way, when they happen, you'll have a plan for them. Or even if a different challenge happens, one that you didn't think of, you'll be in a problem-solving mindset, because it's like you're expecting challenges. And then so when a challenge is thrown at you, you'll be more likely to problem solve for it instead of getting knocked off guard and then stop working toward the goal. All right, so another thing, the emotional roller coaster. Here it is, y'all. This is it. This, in many cases, when you're working toward big goals, goals that kind of are going to take you out of your comfort zone in order to achieve them, you find yourself experiencing all different kinds of emotions. One minute you might be feeling like super excited, and the next minute you're like so afraid, and then another minute you're like hopeful, and then the next minute you're like anxious, and another minute you're like you feel defeated, and then you just want to give up, and then you start feeling some relief and you can keep going. It's just like it's just so it's just it's real. It's a real thing, and you just got to be prepared for it, and expect it, and just know that that is part of the process. And when you start feeling all of these emotions, just be like, okay, I must be doing something right. I'm headed in the right direction. For me to be freaking out like this and going up and down like this, I'm headed in the right direction, right? Because if you weren't working towards something that was taking you out of your comfort zone, you feel comfortable the whole time, and it'd be a breeze. But when you start feeling all the up and down, the confusion, the fear, the this, the that, like it feels uncomfortable to experience those emotions, but you can live through them. You can make it through them, and you can overcome them and keep going. And one thing I want to remind you of is that our thoughts um, impact the way that we feel. So if we can better manage our thoughts and the way that we're thinking as we're working toward our goal, then we can get a better handle on that whirlwind of emotions that we're experiencing. And in many cases, we might be experiencing or we might be having limiting beliefs. Okay, so a limiting belief is a belief that you might have that tends to constrain you in some kind of way, or just believing, just believing the limited belief causes us to not think, do, or say things that inhibit the belief. They're beliefs that in many cases aren't even true, but we believe them so deeply and we act as if they are true, right? And so some limiting beliefs, there's a lot of them, but some of the most common ones are I'm not good enough, um, I'm not smart enough, I'm not worthy, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm not pretty enough, I'm too busy, like all of those things. I can't do it, I don't know how. Um, I can't change, or like, well, I'm just not disciplined enough, right? So those are just things that we tell ourselves and we believe them to be true. And so we behave as if they were 100% true and that we can't change them. But if we can just take a moment, slow down, analyze what it is that we're thinking, and like change those thoughts, then we will be able to move further along. So I want to remind you guys of the self-coaching model, which was created by Brooke Castillo at the Life Coach School. It suggests that a circumstance will happen, or we will have a certain situation, and then we'll have a thought about it, right? And so the way we're thinking about it is going to cause us to experience certain feelings. And then those feelings will cause us to take certain actions. And then if we continue to take those actions over and over, eventually we are going to get a specific result, right? Whether it's a good or a bad result, whether it's something that we want or don't want, something that is moving us toward our goal or holding us back and pushing us away from the goal, we're going to get a result, right? So in this example, I have a example of an intentional thought, or like a thought that is more serving to us, and an example using the model with a thought that is like maybe a limiting belief or that is not serving. So the goal, let's just say the goal is you want to lose 30 pounds, okay? The thought is I can't do it. You just can't do it. That's how you feel about it. I want it really bad, but I can't do it. And so you might feel discouraged and defeated already, because when you think of the goal that you haven't even started working toward yet, the only thing you can think about is I can't do it. So you're feeling discouraged, you're feeling defeated. And so since you're feeling those things, you might go into what I call inaction. meaning you're not taking any action toward that goal. So instead of taking actions toward that goal, you might decide to just go watch TV and eat some snacks or something totally unrelated to the goal. And if you continue to do that over and over again, watching TV and eating snacks, you're going to end up gaining weight. So the goal is that you want to lose weight, and your thought is, I can't do it. So your result is like you're not doing it. You're doing the opposite. But when you have a more intentional thought, same goal, same circumstance, different thought that you believe 100%. Okay. So the new thought is that you're just focused on, I want to lose 30 pounds. And the only thing you're having is, I want this to be a fun process. How can I make this a fun process? And so you might be feeling excited about it. You might be brainstorming different ways that you will can make it fun. And so your action is going to be that you're finding and actually doing fun workouts, or maybe finding recipes in a fun way. Like you're finding ways to enjoy the process of like eating healthy and working out. And then the result that you get is you're going to end up losing weight, because if you're doing the actions of finding and doing fun workouts, then you're going to end up losing weight or having some type of body toning or change in your body if you continue to do that over and over again. So as you can see, once the thought changed, everything else changed, and you got the result, right? So when you're coming up with more positive and more serving thoughts, it's important that you actually believe them 100%, because if you don't, this process will not work. So I encourage you to get you a journal, so that you can write all of this down and work your way through all of the emotions and the limiting beliefs that you might have. So this is what I call self-coaching, right? You'll write down, like, for instance, you'll write down everything that you, like, let's just say you're on the emotional roller coaster, right? Experiencing all these different emotions. Get your journal. If you're doing that, take a moment and just write down the emotions that you're feeling, right? So you're writing down the different emotions. I'm feeling worried, I'm feeling anxious, I'm confused, I'm scared, I'm feeling afraid. You're feeling all these different emotions, right? So then take a moment to try to find the thought that you're having that's causing you to feel that emotion. And then once you find the thought and you see the thought that's causing you to feel fear or feeling worried or confused or self-doubt, then try to come up with another thought, a replacement thought. Something else you can think instead is going to be more positive. It's going to encourage you. It's going to be inspiring in some type of way to get you to move forward. And you have to believe it 100%. So write those thoughts down, and then get in the habit of like looking at those intentional thoughts more often. You can write them on a post-it and post them places. You can set an alarm and have your alarm go off and like name your alarm, whatever that thought is. You can just put the thought where you can see it, right? Or just go and reread the journal. Right? Maybe you can have a positive thoughts page in your journal, write all the thoughts on that page and go in and reread it often, especially when you're getting discouraged. This is what I call self-coaching. You're taking everything out of your brain, putting it on paper, sorting it out, figuring out what you need to keep, what's helpful, what's not helping, putting the thoughts you want to keep, making sure you're putting them back in, the thoughts you want to delete, trying to like find a way to get rid of those and displace those thoughts, right? So get you a journal, because you cannot do all of that by just thinking. You can't just sit there and be like, okay, what am I thinking? Okay, how's it making me feel? Like, it's just too jumbled. It's just too much going on. You can't do it. So you do need to be able to write it out. So I hope this has been helpful to you guys. This process definitely helps me, which is why I wanted to share it with you. If you find it to be helpful, I do encourage you to stay tuned. I will be posting more videos in the near future that will help you to keep working towards your goal and helping you to have more of a mindset shift so that you can start getting more of the results that you want to see in your life. And also, if you are curious about working with a life coach or curious about what it's like to have a life coaching session, as I mentioned before, I'm a certified life coach and I am willing to offer you a free coaching session. So if you feel like you want to be coached on a specific topic, or maybe you want to be coached on your goal, or whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you want to see better results with, I am willing to coach you, do a free session with you. Just contact me at coachingdaydreams.com, or you can email me at coachingdaydreams@gmail.com. So reach out to me in a way that's most convenient to you. We'll set up a session and we'll have our coaching session. And then if you like that, then we can kind of go from there to see if you want to do more sessions, or if the one was enough, then that's fine too. So I look forward to connecting with you in the future. And I definitely want to thank you for your time. I appreciate you. I hope you found this to be helpful. Bye.